So Tinder or Bumble, which one is actually best for you? Well, before I go over some of the important parts, let me just show you my results on them as of late. I tested them each with 300 right swipes, and I got a single match extra off of Bumble. However, I run out of likes faster on it, so this took me an extra day to do. I believe I get 30 per day off of Bumble and 40 on Tinder, but the main difference is who each app is for. Tinder is geared more towards hookups. It also skews a little bit younger. And things like your profile text don't really matter as much, at least in comparison to Hinge or Bumble. So if you are looking for a relationship, Bumble is going to be the best option for you. But they happen to change how their messaging works in the past year or so. Like when it came out, the whole appeal of Bumble is that women message first. So you like the normal way, and then there's a match the normal way, but women have to actually initiate the messaging. However, they changed this where guys can message first, but it has to be one of the woman's preset questions that she just makes up. So it's pretty similar now. But one thing I do like about Bumble is the discover page, and I'll pull that up right now. It just shows you profiles that you're more geared towards, like you're more likely to like. And Tinder does this with top picks, but they're not necessarily relevant to me. And even more important, they're not active from my understanding of it. I've never got a match from it. From the guys that I help, they've never got a match from it. So I think it's a waste of time. Hinge does have this, but you have to use roses, and roses in Canada, like 12 of them cost $40. So that's just crazy. Not going to be worth it. But really, the most important thing that I can say, in most places, Hinge is actually going to be your better option. So you should at least start there. It is good to have a second app that you use, especially because Hinge only has 8 likes per day. Your like will go farther, much farther than a Bumble or Tinder, but it's still good to have like a second app. Dating is a numbers game. So if you're running 2 apps, it's going to be better than one. And also at the same time, because sometimes there's exceptions where like Tinder or Bumble will just do better. And since this is, kind of an important thing, especially if you're looking for a relationship, this is a very big deal. So just trial 3 for like a week, and whatever you get the most traction on, the top 2 of them, just stick with those. Also, another thing you can do is to go to SimilarWeb, and I will link this down below if I remember. Basically, it just shows you the most popular dating apps in your country, which is kind of useful. I'm in the process of actually testing all these other apps. Like, there's a huge drop off in usefulness after the top 3. But I literally, okay, I'll pull up my phone right now. I've got, I don't know if you can see it. That's Boo, um, Feld. That's like, I, that's kind of a different app. That's like for more casual stuff that I've just learned based on the profiles that I see. Hilly, Poff, Badoo, OkCupid, Fruits, Match, Coffee Meets Bagel. Yeah, I'll have a video on this, but basically you should just stick with the main 3. But regardless of whatever app you choose, if you just got out of a relationship or you're just new to the dating market, it's very important that you come with the right expectations in mind because, it takes on average 10 matches for a date. And if you go into it, getting excited and having higher expectations of a match working out, you realize it's not built that way. You kind of have to deal with rejections at scale. A lot of people just aren't interested in meeting, or they're just kind of like, you can get dragged along. You can just take too long to ask them out, which you typically want to do within like a dozen messages. So the right expectations are important. Secondly, swiping no matters quite a bit. You can't just, for one, the algorithm doesn't want you to be just swiping yes all the time. They'll start suppressing your account because they'll just see it as spamming. But also at the same time, it helps curate your feed a little bit. If you're liking only the profiles that you really like, then you're going to get shown more of those. But the most important thing is to not wait for the perfect match. Get yourself on dates as soon as you possibly can. It doesn't matter who they are. Just get used to going out, removing those uncertainties of, oh, what's the date going to be like? Where should I go? Am I going to be nervous? Will I have enough to talk about? What will I do after? Just like put yourself out there and get that exposure. Get the reps. Get comfortable with it. And when the right person comes along and you get used to it, then you're going to be in the best position to actually build the connection, being able to show yourself in the right way. Because when you're just being selective and you're not going on many dates, the ones that you go on, you'll just have that much more hope and expectations and almost like neediness for the date to go well. And very fundamentally, that's just like the wrong way to approach it because you're in a position where you're hoping that they like you versus, hoping that you like them. You just want to get comfortable going on them. That's really it. And when you get used to that, you're going to be in a really, really good spot because, that's kind of like the abundance mentality. When you have the skill set proven that you can meet somebody new whenever you like. But I am well off track here. So if you need help getting your profile set up, I have information linked below. And if you've tried Bumble and Tinder and one works very clearly better for you than the other, let me know, especially if you can share what state or province you're in or the city. So that's super useful for when other guys help me. I can direct them. Otherwise, I will talk to you again soon.